Hey plant fam, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Jacqueline. This isn't my jungle, it's my kitchen. But anyway, if you're not new here, thank you for coming back. So I'm sitting here because this is the only table that I have to do stuff on, and you would have seen in my last plant shopping video that I snagged these two Anthurium. I watered them, so they perked right up. They just need a little trim, a little cleanup, and then I'm gonna pot them together. And this is my one that I already had. She's coming back, but she was on the struggle bus, so I moved her someplace where it's going to be easier for me to water her. But when I saw these on clearance, these were $7 each. They're usually like $12.98. I had to snag them. They were just sitting in the clearance section. Even the lady at the checkout who helped me was like, they just need to be watered. And I was like, I know. So I checked the roots in store, which is important to do for any plant, but especially a clearance plant. I thoroughly checked it for bugs underneath the leaves. Where the leaf meets the petiole, you'll see a lot of bugs just chilling. If there are bugs, especially spider mites, you'll see webbing. So there's lots of things to look out for. So I thought today it would be fun to clean these up and get them all potted up together and looking cute and put somewhere where they're going to thrive. So I'm gonna start with this Urban Gardener Leaf Radiance. This is one of my favorite products from this. I mean, I love all their products, let's be real, but I love this product for when I get a new plant in and I just want to go through and clean all the leaves thoroughly. It just makes the plant look a lot better, and you don't realize how dirty they are. I usually use a microfiber cloth, but I don't know where it is right now, so I'm just gonna use a paper towel. I recommend getting like a microfiber glove or a little towel to do this with, but we're improvising. So I'm gonna spray this all over the plants. They don't need a lot, but I'm just gonna make sure that I'm getting every leaf. So it looks like this. This stuff is all natural, made in America, safe for you, your pets, your kids, the bees, all the things. So I'm gonna let these just sit for a minute, and then I'm gonna go through and wipe everything. So I'm actually gonna tilt you guys down so that you can see what I'm doing instead of my face. What I'm also going to do is trim off some of these sad leaves and old blooms while I'm letting this product kind of sit on here. I'm just gonna clean these up a bit. I find this part really satisfying. I enjoy taking a plant that isn't really maybe looking the best, maybe on the struggle bus a little bit, and making it just look a little bit better. So it's not gonna take much with these, which is why I snagged them, in case you guys missed that video or didn't watch the whole thing. Or if you just don't like plant shopping videos, totally understandable. But I did snag these at Lowe's on clearance, so I was able to recognize that there was nothing really wrong with these plants. They just need a little bit of love and attention, maybe a good repot. This is definitely a thirstier plant, so I will be putting it into less of a chunky mix than I would for most of my aeroids. So all of my other like more expensive, kind of more fancy Anthurium, I usually keep in moss perlite. but these ones do okay in soil, and I will just leave them in soil. They look better already, to be honest. I think I might get rid of this bloom. It's looking kind of discolored and throwing me off, but I really love it for the foliage. I like the darker foliage on this one. I know it's just like a grocery store Anthurium, but I find them to be really, really easy. So some care tips on these while I clean up the leaves. I do bright indirect light. I have these pulled back quite a bit. I'd say over 10 feet maybe from a west facing window, or just about 10 feet or around 10. You know what? I'm not gonna lie and pretend like I know, but do you see how dirty these leaves are? They're gonna look so good. But bright indirect light is good for any and all Anthurium. You don't want to put this directly in a super bright west or south facing window because you might burn the leaves, but a lot of plants really can tolerate that brighter light. You just kind of have to give them a little bit to adjust to it. So I don't always recommend it because it might burn off all of your leaves, but the new growth coming in should be more tolerant of the bright light. I do that with some of my Hoya. They just kind of get used to the bright light. I'm not sure how to explain it, but for these, bright indirect light is going to be your best bet. I do, like I said, water them more frequently than my other plants. Anthurium are also pretty heavy feeders. This plant is going to let you know when it's thirsty. It's going to let you know when you're not giving it enough nutrients. And it's going to show in the leaves for sure. If you're not watering it properly, you're going to get browning, some crispy tips. If you're waiting too long in between watering, or if you're being inconsistent, these don't want to dry out completely. I usually like to go with percentages because I think that's easier to conceptualize, but you guys let me know in the comments below if there's a different way that's easier to explain it. But I don't let these get more than 80% dry. So I try and make sure that it is always slightly moist. You do not want it to be wet. So it's just finding that balance of not letting it get completely dry. Some people will say it's okay to let them go 100% dry. I say just don't let them stay 100% dry for more than 24 hours because you're gonna see it start to wilt. This plant will definitely let you know that you've waited too long to water it, which is how I found them in the store. So they were wilted, they were super dry, and they were just left there to shrivel up in the dark. So this one is looking so much better already. These leaves were so dirty. Look at how shiny and new it looks. Very nice. All right, I'm gonna do this one really quickly. They're gonna get a little bit dirty again probably when I repot, but I want to get all of the like hard water and soot and stuff from the store off of the leaves. They are pretty dirty. They just get like dirt. It's just straight up dirt and dust. Sitting on the leaves isn't good for them. So we're giving this whole thing a makeover. All right, so Anthurium, again, are heavy feeders. Like I said, I fertilize mine every single time I water. And if you're getting yellowing leaves, even though you're consistent with your watering, it's probably a nutrient deficiency. So I do have a video where I talk about everything that I put in my water and why. I can leave that linked for you. But Anthurium specifically, I make sure I'm always giving them plenty of food all year. I fertilize all year. My plants grow all year. I'm not that person who like stops fertilizing in the winter, and my plants continue to grow through the winter. So, you know, just do what works for you in terms of fertilizing, but your Anthurium definitely require more food. And I love my Urban Gardener This is obviously the Leaf Radiance, but you guys know that I also love the Super Growth Elixir, which I will be topping this plant off with. This is my favorite foliar spray. It is an amazing fertilizer and just plant strengthener. This has made my Hoya grow, my Anthurium love it, and I 10 out of 10 recommend it. So they do make 3 products, the third one being a bug spray that I have over there. And you can get all 3 in like a little starter pack to try them if you want. But they did also just come out with this, which I haven't shown you guys yet. But look at it. What? They came out with refill bottles. Do you know how happy this makes me? So now I just refill this little guy with this big guy. And I've got tons because, like I said, my Hoya love it. My Anthurium love it, all my plants love it, but I've seen a ton of active growth on my Hoya and my Anthurium specifically, so definitely don't sleep on this stuff. I'll leave it linked for you. I have a discount code. I do make a little bit of commission if you shop through my link, so I appreciate you if you do. But that is not why I'm telling you to buy it. I actually just genuinely love this stuff. It's like legit all the good stuff that my Hoya specifically really love. And I love that because I was getting a little bit discouraged with the fact that some of them weren't growing. So these are all cleaned up, you guys. I'm gonna get rid of these clippings. Okay, so for soil, Fox Farms, Ocean Forest. This is what I use. This is what I've always used. This is what I'm gonna keep on using for a while until I feel like I find something better. I've been, not what I've always used, but I have been using this for quite some time. I do already have a little bit of orchid bark mixed in here. Don't need a lot for this one. This soil has pretty good aeration on its own. But I do, ignore my cat food bowl on the floor, please. I do like to use the Better Grow Orchid potting mix as well. This is what I've mixed in for all of my soil. I'm gonna use a ton. Like I said, I don't want this to be super fast draining because then I'll be watering it tons. And this should be pretty dry. I watered it and I let it sit. It looks like it was in a plug of some sort, but the roots are totally fine, which I know because I pulled them out while I was in the store to look at them, because if they looked shriveled up and dead, then I would have known this plant went too long without water and it wasn't salvageable. So I was able to see these healthy pink plump roots in there and be able to say, yes, this plant is salvageable. So definitely pay attention to that when you're buying on clearance or honestly anywhere. So I try to very gently, mostly just at the big box stores, pull plants out of the pot if I can to look at their root ball without making a mess, obviously. Sometimes that's not possible, but it is good to try and do that if you can. So what else am I missing on Anthurium? Humidity. Humidity is a thing that people ask a lot about with Anthurium, and it does help with a lot of specific, more like pretty, especially velvety leaf Anthurium. They definitely like humidity. Yeah, there's plug paper in here, which is totally fine. It doesn't harm the plant at all. I just like to break it up. There's 2 plugs, which makes sense. There's 2 plants in each pot. So I try to keep the humidity at least around 60% for all of my plants, but obviously that doesn't happen in like my regular space all the time. But for these ones, your ambient humidity is fine. These are just, like I said, I call them grocery store Anthurium because I don't actually know the proper botanical name for this one, but it's your standard Anthurium that if somebody were to just say, oh, Anthurium without being a plant collector, like this is the flower they would think of. Not that you can tell because this one's kind of a little deformed and I don't really have a lot of flowers here, which is fine because I don't necessarily love this plant for its flowers, although I do like that this one's a really, really dark purple. So much so that it almost looks black, which is the appeal to me. But usually you see the red ones, sometimes you see white ones in the store. So that's one, or two rather. I have two different size pots here. I don't know if they're all gonna fit in here, so I'll probably need to use this one. I don't really have a ton of regular like nursery containers, so that's unfortunate, but it is what it is, you guys. As long as I have a pot for them to go in, like a catch pot, and put them up on the shelf, I'll be fine. So yeah, I wouldn't stress humidity too much on this one specifically, but other types of Anthurium are definitely going to require more humidity depending on what it is. So definitely do your individual research if you're looking into a specific type of Anthurium. But in terms of this one, I just grow it like on my regular plant shelves out here. Like I'll probably put them on the white shelves that I tend to film in front of. So keep cleaning this one up. I like to get rid of all of the dried caterpillars and stuff. It's just this plant is just gonna look so much better, I think. I mean, it already looks better, but once I have them all potted up, good roots on that one. Yeah, it's gonna be nice and full. So excited. All right, we got it. Take care of this one that I also picked up at the big box store a while back, but I kind of neglected it a little bit. So I moved it, and now I'm hoping that making it bushy and everything, it is growing back. It's got like a new little baby leaf right here, but I'm hoping that it's just gonna like look better now. This aerial root is dry. But I got it in the same pot from the same grower, so there probably were two in here at some point. Honestly, I only see one plug actually. Oh, I got ripped off with this one. I paid full price on this one too a while back. It obviously looked better than this when I got it. It had more leaves, I swear. But it'll come back. It's got a couple of growth points at the base here, and I didn't mix enough soil. But that's fine, because the rest is just going to be your standard repot, which you guys know how to do. I'm going to put some soil in the bottom, and then I'm going to start just kind of arranging these in here. Although I think I did an okay job right now, just willy-nilly kind of throwing them in there. And then I'm gonna backfill. Okay, fam, that's it. What do you think? She looks a little disheveled maybe right now, but I did my best to kind of get her in there looking like she belongs as all one plant. But once I put her somewhere, she'll start facing the light and all the leaves will kind of sort themselves out. But I'm so excited with how big this is. I do have like a little woven basket that I'll show you guys that I'm gonna put this in, but her leaves stayed nice and clean. Look at how good they look. Absolutely gorgeous. Cannot tell that this was ever a clearance plant. I'm gonna hit it with the super growth elixir just to top it off. I will give it a good thorough water as well. love this plant. It is so gorgeous. Absolutely stunning. So that is it, you guys, for this video. I'm gonna grab the pot so that I can show you the final product and how cute she is. Are you ready? Ooh. Oh my gosh, look at how cute. I don't know about you guys, but I love a good woven basket. This one has plastic in the lining because it's specifically made for plants. So that is it, you guys, for this video. This is my Anthurium. It's hard to see it against the black refrigerator, but I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, you should definitely give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the notification bell so you don't miss anything from me. There's a join button, a super thanks button. You guys know the drill. You know I can't do this without you. I appreciate you all so very much. If you watched this whole entire video, leave me some bat emojis because they're black and these leaves kind of remind me of bats, even though they have nothing to do with bats. Anyway, leave me bat emojis if you watched this whole entire thing. And don't forget to spread kindness, you guys. Don't forget to drink your water, and I will see you in the next one. Let me know also if there are any questions you have about this plant that I forgot to answer. Okay? Okay, I love you. Bye.